Hey everybody, welcome to the Bar Talk Happy Hour. My name is Odie Coyote. We are back with an extra special guest coming up right now on the show. It's our third time getting to interview him here. And the first time actually for the syndicated portion of the Bar Talk Happy Hour. But I am so thrilled and so happy to welcome Mr. Jaret Ray Reddick. Welcome back to the show. How you doing?
It is good to be back, Mr. Coyote. And you know what's funny is if you were where I'm from in Texas, you would just be Odie Coyote.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it's kind of that thing where like they don't say because like the rival high school was the Old High Coyotes, so it was the Raiders versus the Coyotes anyway. And I just thought that was a nice little tidbit for you.
Yeah, Coyote came as a nickname. I used to run cross country in high school. And after a race, or I would do somewhat well, and they would just say Odie Coyote, just the way I ran and all
Love
that.
it.
So that's kind of how that name came about. And some radio marketing guru guy I know told me that, dude, that's a cool name, and you should stick with it.
Yeah, no, I think it's great. Very memorable.
Absolutely. Thank you. Well, you are very memorable, and especially right now, you have a brand new single called Lonestars out on radio right now, and it is doing remarkably well. It's probably your best-to-date single. You want to tell us about Lonestars and how that song came about?
Absolutely. I was really lucky, have three very successful singles off my first album. And so I started writing for album two. And this is the first song that I wrote. And I'm definitely a creature of habit. I went back to producer Zach Malloy and we co-wrote this one. But I wanted to write just a love song. I think a lot of times in country, we have a lot of twists and turns, and that is my forte, in Bowling for Soup and in the way that I write. I like the twists and turns, but I just said I want to write like just a sappy love song, and then as it started to unfold, the Lone Stars thing about how it's essentially a song about how it's the Lone Star State, but we're not alone, and so we're Lone Stars, but we're never really going to be Lone Stars, and so I got to get my little twist and turn in there in the writing itself. But as far as the love story is concerned, just a nice, just lovely love story. And I got to, there's some things that I'd like to do in my songwriting. I like to throw some Spanish in there every once in a while, and I was able to do that in this one. And so just I'm just really proud of this one.
Cool. And okay, so you brought it up. So I did not know this, but you actually do. Can you speak fluent Spanish?
No, I can't speak fluent Spanish. I can understand it and I can sort of get by. But if I definitely wouldn't. In fact, one of my voiceover gigs that I do, they wanted me to try and do it in Spanish, as well as so they wouldn't have to hire somebody else, basically. Right. And I failed miserably. And so I don't really fail at a lot of things, and so it was very frustrating because I really thought I could do it. But even spelled out phonetically, I for some reason do not actually sound Spanish. But yeah, but from where I'm from Wichita Falls, Texas, and I've lived in Denton County, which is North Dallas, most of my life, and so the Spanish culture is very, very. We're surrounded by it. We love it, and we love the food and the music and the people, and so it's a language that our kids hear every day.
Very cool. So yeah, that was one thing I was just kind of thinking about because my wife can speak a little bit of Spanish. I was about to put you on the spot, but since you said it's not like a fluent thing, I won't do it. I promise.
Yeah, please don't.
I won't do that. But yeah, producer Raven's on the other side here, and she's telling me that our first segment, which is a little bit shorter than our second, is about up. So we're going to take a break here, folks, but we'll be right back with more with Jaret Ray Reddick here on the Bar Talk Happy Hour. All right, we are back here with the Bar Talk Happy Hour. We are still hanging out with Jaret Ray Reddick here, and he's just enlightened us than last time. We almost had to put him on the spot for his speaking of Spanish, but he's got a brand new single out called Lonestars right now, and it's doing really well. It almost cracked, well, it did crack top 20, but it depends on which chart you want to look at. In our book, he did make top 20. So, Jaret, What does that accomplishment mean for you coming into this now?
Well, I mean, on my last record, I had two crack the top 30, one crack the top 20, and I this one is on some of the charts. It's close to top 10. So, I love that people are still listening and that they're liking what I'm doing. And I think when you and I talked the first time, I was still a little bit unsure of, what my future would be in Texas country, in red dirt music. And since then a lot has happened and my band is firing on all cylinders, and we're just that. We're a band. I'm so very lucky. Like I've managed to do it twice to just get the exact group of dudes together. With Bowling for Soup, obviously 30 years. But I mean, I could see the Jaret Ray Reddick band, the guys that I've got together. I could see us playing together for a very long time. And that's not easy to do once. And so I've struck gold, and I've just really been welcomed into the genre by, people such as yourself, radio persons, bands, venues, press. It's been just awesome. And I'm loving every minute of it.
That's cool. I know for us, when you first came on, the one thing I remember you mentioning is that, is this a complete genre shift for you? Because you're better known for your work with Bowling for Soup, which is still touring out and really big out in the United Kingdom and here in the U.S. still. And of course, I still sing 1985 all the time. And, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
And then, of course, songs like Come Back to Texas, which you kind of redid in your own style with your Texas thing. And so, but now that you've seen success in both sides and both genres, if you will, I guess, looking back a year ago when we first talked to you compared to now, has it kind of changed your goals? Like, wow, this is actually taking off. Maybe I will focus a little bit more on the Texas countryside. Or are you still trying to do both Bowling for Soup and Jaret Ray Reddick on the Texas country music scene kind of equally together?
Well, Bowling for Soup is my baby. It's my bread and butter. That's what is putting my kids through college, and it's something that and it means a lot to a lot of people. And so I don't I it's funny. I never I used to get asked all the time, how long will you do this? And I would always be like, well, it's not like I'm going to be 50 singing about high school. And I'm 52 now, and we're bigger than ever in every market that we go to. And so and no real uh plans to slow down anytime soon. I mean, we've got touring plans for the next several years. And so the country thing, it was really just I was going to play some shows here and there, and that's gotten to be so busy that I'm putting really equal effort into both. If I'm home, I'm out playing on the weekends doing some country music, and the band Rob is in both bands too, and so it's a pretty big commitment for him because he lives in Pennsylvania. And with Bowling for Soup, it's that works out fine because he can meet us wherever we're going. But with Jaret Ray Reddick, we pretty much always start at home and drive to where we're going. So he's coming back to Dallas quite a bit. So it's but yeah, as far as effort goes, definitely working very, very hard in both. And I would say sometimes harder in the country side of things because it's still a startup. It's still very much something that I'm having to get to the grind and get out there and claw my way in, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think for as much success as you've had in really just a little over a year actually doing Texas country music, I think it's really phenomenal because there's people who can do it for a whole decade and not really see the type of success that you have. So that's really special and good to hear. What I guess I want to know though is if people are kind of near the Texas area, where can they go see you at?
Well, so I play pretty much all the surrounding states. I have shows coming up well, Bowling for Soup actually has shows in Kansas, Oklahoma coming up, Arkansas, and so does Jaret Ray Reddick. We're playing Colorado, we're playing Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas, Louisiana, Missouri. So I would just say, follow me on social media or go to jaretrayreddick.com and just keep up with me because I'm staying busy. I do put the shows out there pretty far in advance, like our November tour with Kinfo and Paige Lewis. Dates are already up and tickets for sale. So I would just say check that out and follow along.
Very cool. I'm really excited. You got to come to Iowa, man. I don't care if it's Bowling for Soup or Jaret Ray Reddick doing the Texas country scene, but you got to come to Iowa. I miss you.
Bowling for Soup is coming to Des Moines here in just a few weeks, actually.
Oh, where at?
They moved the venue, actually. We sold out the first place. They moved us to a bigger venue. So forgive me for not being prepared, but but we will be there. I believe it's just in about 2.5, 3 weeks.
Cool. I'll look it up here when we get off technically the interview part, and I'll probably post something up here on our live stream that'll be coming up in the following week. But one last question before we go, because our time's running short. My wife has her class reunion coming up this weekend, and it is my mission to embarrass her as much as I can. Now, we both grew up listening to Bowling for Soup in high school. I could probably name off most of your albums if you probably quizzed me, but we don't have the time, and producer Raven's kind of getting me to go on. But my question is, what song or songs, plural, should I play as loud as I can when I pull up to her class reunion in the car?
Well, I mean, it just depends on. So, is it a Bowling for Soup song?
It can be Bowling for Soup. It can be your Texas music, or I just want to know what Jaret Ray Reddick song should I play to make a big entrance for Raven coming into her class reunion. It's her 15-year class reunion.
I feel like this is easy, Odie. I think Raven should be the girl all the bad guys want.
Yes, and because here's me, I was the bridge in that song. I was the guy with the moped back in high school. Yes, I can never be the tough guy.
Yeah,
well, here, I'll unmute Raven here real quick. Raven, what do you got?
I don't know. I was thinking High School Never Ends.
High School Never Ends. That's another good one.
That would also be a good one, but more all encompassing.
Yes, girl, all the bad guys want. I like it. Cool. So I'm gonna have to wrap this up. That one got a little away from me. But Jaret, thank you so much for your time on the show today, and thank you. And we definitely want to see you again real soon.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. Y'all just JaretRayReddick.com, and I'll see y'all soon.